It all started with that low rumble shaking the ground like an earthquake rolling in from the hills, dozens of vintage Triumph motorcycles circling tight around these slick-suited guys right in the heart of Pine Ridge's main drag, right outside the old First Wyoming Bank. There I was, Tom Whitaker, sitting astride my beat-up 72 Bonneville, hammer cocked on my grandpa's old Smith & Wesson, staring down these corporate sharks who'd picked the wrong damn spot to push their weight around. "You fellas chose the wrong valley," I said, voice steady as the Wyoming wind. "The wrong widow, and sure as hell the wrong moment to mess with folks who fight back." Flashback a week, and Pine Ridge was just humming along like it always did, this sleepy little town of about 10,000 souls tucked between the pine-covered ridges and the open plains, where folks still tipped their hats and minded their own unless you gave them reason not to. I'd been running Whitaker's Diner for nigh on 12 years, flipping burgers and tuning up old bikes in the back shop, ever since I hung up my dog tags after too many tours that left scars you couldn't see. Mornings were routine, coffee brewing strong, sunlight slanting through the windows onto faded photos of my unit from the Gulf, and that jukebox crooning some Johnny Cash to chase away the ghosts that still whispered at 3 a.m. Then Sheriff Dan Riley saunters in, boots scraping uneven cause his right heel's worn thin, pours himself a mug and leans on the counter like he's got the weight of the world. "Tom, you hear about these Summit Developments hotshots sniffing around? Fancy resort plans, golf courses, the whole 9 yards, but my gut says they're rotten. Paperwork's too clean, like they're hiding something nasty." I nodded, hands greasy from rebuilding a carburetor, thinking, yeah, city slickers always come with strings attached, but hell, who was I to judge? I'd chosen this place to disappear, to let the nightmares fade into the mountain air, where no one asked why I always sat facing the door or why my hands shook sometimes when thunder rolled in. That's when Sarah Jenkins pulls up in her dusty Chevy pickup, right on time for her morning Josh, blown into town 5 months back with her kid Emily, starting up Jenkins hauling to deliver groceries and meds to the old-timers who couldn't make the drive. Sarah moved like she'd been trained for it, eyes scanning the room before she even stepped inside, calluses on her palms from more than just gripping a steering wheel, weights, maybe, or worse, weapons from a life she didn't talk about. "Morning. Tom, coffee still tastes like boot leather?" she'd quip, pouring a cup with 1 sugar, no cream, and we'd chat easy about Emily's college apps to Stanford, how the girl's a whiz with circuits and code, rebuilding drones from scrap in their garage. But that day, her voice dropped low as she mentioned overhearing at the town hall about Summit's pushy reps, offering triple market value for land, but getting mean when folks said no. Those security guys with the boss, Marcus Hale, looked like ex-mercs, the shady kind. How'd I know? Just a hunch. We locked eyes, that silent spark of recognition, two strangers with pasts that screamed military, but in Pine Ridge, you didn't pry unless invited. Things heated up quick after that. Sarah out on a run to Margaret Hayes' ranch. This tough old widow in her 70s holding onto 1,200 acres that's been in her family since the cattle drives of the 1880s. She's unloading meds when this black Tahoe roars up, 2 goons in suits stepping out like they own the dirt. "You Jenkins?" Headed to Hayes' place. The tall one barks, all cigars and menace, bulge under his jacket screaming holster. Sarah keeps cool. "That's my root. What's it to you?" They push. "We're from Summit. Got an offer for the old lady generous, but she needs persuading." Sarah stands firm. She's not selling, and surprises ain't her thing. "Call ahead next time." But they follow her up the rutted road, corner her at the porch where Margaret's waiting with her Remington propped by the door. Words fly sharp. "Mrs. Hayes, 8 million. Cash. Think of the taxes, the accidents that could happen out here alone." Margaret levels the shotgun. "Get off my land, or the sheriff hauls what's left." The short one grabs Sarah's arm, snarling, "Stay out, delivery bitch," and slaps her hard, leaving a welt blooming red. Sarah twists free like it's muscle memory, eyes flashing fire, but holding back for Emily's sake. She later told Muhile Margaret racks around. "That's assault. Boy scram, or scatter." They back off, tossing threats like, "Accidents find folks who meddle, Miss Jenkins," peeling out in a cloud of dust. Sarah stays for dinner at Margaret's insistence, steak and stories, but inside she's boiling, old instincts screaming this ain't just land grabs. It's something darker, tied to her late husband who dug too deep into shady contractors and ended up carjacked 3 years back. Case closed too neat. By the town meeting that night, the air's thick with suspicion hall packed. Mayor Ellis up front introducing Marcus Hale, this silver fox type with eyes like a hawk sizing up prey. Hale pitches smooth, slides flashing luxury condos, spas, trails preserving Wyoming's heritage, while pumping jobs and cash into Pine Ridge. But Frank Dawson stands, voice shaking. Your thugs threatened my farm's permits if I didn't sell. Sounds like extortion to me. Murmurs ripple. Then Margaret chimes in about the slap on Sarah, bruise plain as day. Hale smiles cold. Misunderstandings, folks will investigate, but think of the future. Sarah calls him out. Explain now? Or is assault part of your ethics? Hale's mask slips, just a hair, eyes narrowing on her like he's filing away a threat. I watch from the back, piecing it. Hale's guards too pro, his deflections too slick, reeks of intel ops gone corporate. After, Sarah texts me cryptic. Need to talk, these aren't developers. We meet at my diner after close, her sweeping for bugs with some gadget from her glove box. Paranoid? Nah, smart. You were spec ops, weren't you? Afghanistan rings a bell. I pour coffee. Army Ranger, you? Delta support. She nods, spilling her Truthisban's accident, tracing to Hale's web of shells and borders. We dig online, links summit sites to smuggling corridors near Canada, high profits masking laundered cash, accidents befalling resistors. Why here? I'm U's isolated, weak sheriff's office, forest roads perfect for runs. Sarah's stake? Revenge wrapped in protection for Emily. Mine? This town's my reset button after losing brothers and sandstorms far awakened, let shadows swallow it. That night, threats hit home. Black SUV lurking outside Sarah's apartment, Emily texting scared. We roll up, me pressing my Beretta to the glass. Hands where I see him. Unless you want this chat permanent. They squirm. Just watching for Ms. Jenkins' safety, mister. Hale's orders. Sarah yanks the door, gun steady. By stalking my kid? Tell Hale if he comes near her again. What I did in Kandahar'll look like a picnic. They slink off, but it's the spark. I dial Alex Turner from memory, old unit XO. Protocols live, Pine Ridge, Wyoming. Hale's running borders under resort cover, timeline tight. Alex is gruff, making call show many? All who'll come. By dawn, the old guard starts trickling in, vets on triumphs. Gray hair whipping in the wind, 20 at first, then 40, scattering to a remote cabin. I know, no ties to me. We set command maps, comms, evidence pack of financials, sat images showing truck patterns at other sites. Dan catches wind, corners me. These bikers you're doing? Reports of him showing whenever Summit pushes. I level, protecting holdouts. Hale's smuggling, feds'll see soon. He grumbles, but gives 48 hours. Get proof, or I call state vigilantes. Ain't law. Hale ramps up, desperate goons hit Dawson's farm. Guns drawn forcing signatures. Shot fired grazing shoulder. We converge, bikes roaring in, forming perimeters while Dan arrives, sirens blazing. Drop M, he yells, me patching Dawson. Hang tight, buddy. Hale's man sneers. This ain't your fight, old timer. I stare back. Made it mine when you threatened good people. Similar at Hayes threats on cattle, but our guys hold him off. Hale's in his suite, barking to underlings. Accelerate shipments tomorrow. Secure the path or burn it. He digs my file, sanitized clean, mutters ghosts. Should have known. Dialing spooks for leverage. We channel M, block forest roads with fallen logs, force routes while feds mobilize from Dan's call. But Hale plays dirty, intercepts our detail on Emily, drags her as hostage to the meet point where trucks rumble in from the north, loaded with whatever poison he's peddling. High in the pines, we watch the convoy snake. Hale's rover leading, security tight. Reports crackle. Roadblocks hit, diverting as planned. They bottleneck at our pass, tree down, rear boxed. Hale's team fans out, weapons up, then the SUV screeches up with Emily. Sarah's face drains. Know how? Move now, she whispers fierce. Engines thunder, 99 Triumphs emerging like phantoms, circling tight, a wall of steel and resolve. I cut power, step forward. Release her, Hale game's done. He smirks, gripping her arm. Insurance, Whitaker, or is it Captain? Clear a path, or she pays. Sarah's voice cuts like a blade. That's my girl. You bastard, let go. or I end this personal. Hale chuckles dark. Major Jenkins, widow of the nosy contractor, coincidence you landing here? My friends in high places say otherwise. I counter, Fed's 2 minutes out. Your net's crumbling, surrender clean, or these men make it messy. His eyes dart, team shifting uneasy at our calm old wolves circling pups. Briggs whispers frantic. Hale snaps back, then deflates. Guarantees? What the law gives, I say. He nods curt. Let her go. Emily runs to Sarah's arms, tears and relief mixing. Weapons drop as sirens swell. Fed swarm, cuffing Hale mid-protest. You have no idea the pull-eye, but it's over. Trucks seized, evidence sealed. We fade into the trees, bikes scattering like smoke. But from a ridge overlooking Pine Ridge twinkling below, Sarah, Emily, and I pause. The valley safe. Folks none the wiser yet to the storm we weathered. Hale rots in a cell now, his empire cracking, but whispers linger. Was he just a cog, or do shadows like that ever truly die? Makes you wonder about the quiet towns, the deals in back rooms. Anyway, that's my tale. Hit like if it got you thinking, subscribe for more real-life close calls, and drop a comment. Ever face down bullies in your backyard? Who's right when land and lives collide? Developers dreaming big, or locals holding ground? Share your take. I'd love to hear.